There is a great truth that many overlook in today's world. It is a truth about the power, the dignity, and the wisdom of a woman. We live in a time where transparency is glorified, where people are told to share everything, to be an open book. But let me tell you, God didn't design you to be an open book to just any man. He designed you to be a sacred mystery, a treasure, a woman of wisdom who knows what to reveal and what to guard. Many women today find themselves drained, confused, and even heartbroken, not because they are weak, but because they gave away too much to the wrong man too soon. A woman must learn the art of discretion, the power of silence, and the strength of withholding certain things for her own protection, for her dignity, and for the plan that God has for her life. Today, I will share with you 7 things a woman must always hide from a man, not to deceive, but to preserve the beauty, the power, and the anointing that God has placed within her. And if you stay with me until the end, I promise you, this message will change the way you see yourself and the way you handle your relationships. Are you ready? A woman's strength is not just in what she reveals, but in what she withholds. In a world that encourages complete transparency, we must recognize that mystery is not deception, it is wisdom. There is power in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. A woman who understands this truth carries herself differently. She moves with confidence, not because she is hiding something out of fear, but because she understands that not everything is meant to be shared. From the very beginning, God designed women with a depth that is meant to be cherished, not exploited. The heart of a woman is a wellspring of emotions, dreams, and wisdom. But when she gives too much of herself too quickly, she often finds that the very things she holds dear are taken for granted. How many women have poured out their hearts to a man only to watch him walk away without understanding the weight of what he was given? How many have shared their deepest fears and struggles only to later regret revealing their vulnerability to someone who was never meant to handle it? A woman must understand that her value is not in how much she exposes, but in how much she wisely chooses to guard. There is a certain beauty in restraint. The world teaches that love means full disclosure, but love also means respect, and respect requires boundaries. A woman should not feel pressured to share every thought, every past wound, or every fear, just to prove her love or loyalty. True love does not demand reckless openness. It honors discretion. The strongest women are those who understand that their words and their hearts are precious, and they do not offer them to just anyone. This is not about manipulation. It is about protection. There are some things a man does not need to know, not because they are shameful, but because they are sacred. A woman's past, her private prayers, her unspoken dreams, these are things that when shared too freely can be misunderstood, mishandled, or even used against her. Not every man is equipped to handle the full depth of a woman's soul. A wise woman discerns who is worthy of certain truths and who is not. When a woman understands this principle, she moves differently in relationships. She no longer feels the need to explain herself at every turn. She no longer feels the need to seek validation by oversharing. She finds peace in knowing that she is not withholding out of fear, but out of wisdom. She becomes a woman of quiet strength, radiating a confidence that draws the right kind of respect. A woman's faith and personal convictions are her foundation, the core of who she is. These are not things that should be easily swayed or compromised for the sake of a relationship. In a world that constantly pressures individuals to conform, a woman must stand firm in what she believes. No man, no matter how charming or persuasive, should have the power to shake her spiritual essence. Faith is not just a set of beliefs. It is a guiding force, an anchor in the storms of life. When a woman allows a man to influence or dictate her relationship with God, she risks losing the very strength that sustains her. Many women have walked down a dangerous path by adjusting their spiritual values to accommodate a man. Perhaps he does not share her faith, and so she minimizes its importance to keep the peace. Maybe he dismisses her convictions, and she begins to question whether they are truly necessary. Slowly, without even realizing it, she starts compromising in ways she never imagined. She skips church to spend time with him. She stops praying as much. She hesitates to bring up her faith in conversation, and before she knows it, the fire within her begins to dim. A woman's faith is personal. It is between her and God. It is not something that should be debated, negotiated, or weakened by the influence of a man. If a man truly loves a woman, he will honor her convictions, not challenge them. He will respect her relationship with God and encourage her to grow spiritually, rather than pulling her away from it. A man who mocks or diminishes a woman's faith is not a man who values her soul. It is a tragic mistake for a woman to think that she must compromise her faith in order to keep a man interested. A relationship built on spiritual weakness cannot stand. A woman must be vigilant in protecting her connection with God because it is the source of her wisdom, her strength, and her discernment. When she is deeply rooted in faith, she can see clearly. She can discern whether a man is leading her toward God or pulling her away. She will not be easily deceived by words that do not align with actions. She will have the strength to walk away from a relationship that threatens her spiritual well-being. Faith is not something a woman should ever feel pressured to prove or explain. It is something she carries within her, something that shapes her decisions and directs her path. If a man cannot accept or respect that, then he is not the one God has chosen for her. A woman's past is a sacred part of her journey, filled with lessons, trials, victories, and scars. It is not something that must be laid bare before a man simply because he asks. Too often, women feel pressured to disclose every detail of their past relationships, mistakes, and struggles in the name of honesty. But wisdom teaches that not everything needs to be shared, especially with someone who may not be able to handle it with maturity and grace. Every woman has experienced moments she is not proud of, decisions she would make differently if given the chance. But those moments do not define her, they refine her. God's grace covers the past, and if he has forgiven her, then no man has the right to hold it against her. A woman should never feel obligated to recount every mistake or heartbreak just to prove her sincerity to a man. Some things belong between her and God alone. There are men who, when given too much information, will use it against a woman in moments of anger or manipulation. What starts as a seemingly harmless conversation about the past can later become a weapon in an argument. You did this before, so how do I know you won't do it again? You were with someone like that. What does that say about you? A woman must be careful not to give a man ammunition that he has no business holding. A mature and loving man will not demand to know every detail of her history. He will care more about the woman she has become than the mistakes she once made. Furthermore, a woman's past is not just about mistakes. It is also about pain. Some wounds take years to heal, and speaking about them too soon or to the wrong person can reopen them. Not every man will understand the depth of a woman's struggles, and not every man deserves to. Healing is a personal journey, and it is not something that should be rushed or exposed for the sake of pleasing someone else. It is important for a woman to know that she is not defined by what she has been through. When the right man comes along, he will see her strength, her wisdom, and the grace that has carried her forward. He will not need to know every detail of her past to love her fully in the present. A woman must trust that the right person will accept her for who she is today without demanding to know everything about yesterday. A woman's dreams are sacred. They are the visions God has placed in her heart, the desires that fuel her purpose, and the aspirations that give her life meaning. But not every dream should be spoken aloud, and not every man deserves to hear them. A woman must learn to guard the fullness of her dreams because, when shared too soon or with the wrong person, they can be misunderstood, diminished, or even destroyed. There are many women who have shared their dreams with a man, only to be met with doubt, discouragement, or even ridicule. A man who does not see her vision, who lacks the faith to believe in what she is capable of, can become a stumbling block rather than a supporter. He may tell her that her dreams are too big, that she is not strong enough, smart enough, or talented enough to accomplish them. His words, whether spoken out of insecurity or ignorance, can plant seeds of doubt in her heart. And if she is not careful, she may begin to believe him. She may shrink herself, lower her ambitions, and silence the dreams that once set her soul on fire. A wise woman knows that her dreams are not for everyone to see or approve. Some dreams need time to grow in the quiet, nurtured by faith and determination before they are revealed. There are dreams that God places in a woman's heart that require solitude and patience. If she speaks too soon, she may find that the people around her do not understand. Some will try to change her course, not because they mean harm, but because they cannot see what she sees. Others, out of jealousy or fear, may actively try to stop her. A woman must be discerning about who she allows into the sacred space of her aspirations. Not every man is meant to walk with her on the path to her destiny. A man who truly loves her will not only respect her dreams, but encourage them. He will not be threatened by her ambition or try to mold her into something smaller. He will recognize that her dreams are part of who she is, and he will want to see them come to life. But until she knows that she is with a man who will protect and support her vision, she must keep certain dreams hidden in her heart, allowing them to grow in the presence of God rather than the judgment of others. A woman's strength is one of her greatest assets, but it is not something she should always reveal in its entirety. There is a quiet power in resilience, in carrying burdens with grace, in standing firm through life's storms. But not every man deserves to see the full extent of that strength, nor should he. Some will admire it, while others will exploit it. A wise woman knows that while she is strong, she does not have to prove it to anyone. Too often, women feel the need to demonstrate their strength in relationships, always being the problem solver, the one who carries the emotional weight, the one who holds everything together even when she is breaking in silence. She endures pain in silence, sacrifices without question, and gives without limit, believing that her ability to handle difficulty will earn her love and respect. But the wrong man will take advantage of that. He will lean on her strength while offering little in return. He will expect her to carry both their burdens, never realizing that even the strongest women need support. There is a difference between being strong and being unbreakable. No woman should have to pretend she does not need help, that she does not feel weary, that she does not sometimes long for someone to stand beside her. Strength does not mean never asking for support. It means knowing when to rest, when to lean on God, and when to walk away from situations that demand too much. A woman must guard her strength from men who only want to benefit from it without reciprocating. Some men, when they see a woman's strength, will assume she does not need tenderness, care, or understanding. They will say, "She's independent, she can handle it," and use that as an excuse to neglect her emotional needs. A wise woman knows that she must not always reveal how much she can endure, because if she does, she may find herself carrying far more than she was meant to. True strength is not just about endurance. It is about wisdom. It is knowing when to be vulnerable and when to stand firm. It is recognizing who is worthy of seeing the depth of her resilience and who is not. A woman must protect her strength from those who would drain it, remembering that she is not meant to carry the weight of the world alone. She must never allow a man to take her strength for granted, because her power is not in proving how much she can handle, but in knowing when to let go. A woman's heart is a deep and sacred place, filled with love, dreams, fears, and unspoken thoughts. But not every emotion, every intention, or every secret longing should be laid bare before a man. There are parts of her soul that should remain between her and God, not because she is hiding something wrong, but because wisdom teaches that not everything needs to be spoken. A woman must guard the true intentions of her heart, for they are precious, and when shared with the wrong person, they can be misunderstood, dismissed, or even used against her. Many women believe that complete honesty in a relationship means revealing every thought, every worry, and every inner desire to a man. But the truth is, not every man can handle the depth of a woman's emotions. Some men may pretend to listen, but they do not truly hear. Others may take her deepest fears lightly, offering shallow reassurances rather than real understanding. And some, whether intentionally or not, may take advantage of what she reveals, using her emotions to manipulate or control her. A woman must be discerning about who she trusts with her heart's most intimate truths. There are moments when silence is more powerful than words. A woman's feelings are valid, but they do not always need to be spoken aloud. Sometimes it is wiser to let actions reveal the truth rather than laying everything out in words. A man who genuinely loves and values her will see what is in her heart through her character, through the way she carries herself, through the quiet strength in her presence. She does not need to constantly explain herself or prove her worth through endless conversations about her feelings. The wrong man will ask a woman to open her heart fully, not because he cherishes it, but because he wants to know how to control it. He may press her for information about her past, her insecurities, or her greatest desires, not to protect her, but to gain power over her. A wise woman knows that the deepest parts of her soul are not for just anyone to access. She understands that love does not require the constant exposure of every emotion or thought. The woman who guards her heart wisely is not cold or distant. She is simply strong enough to know that her emotions are valuable and should not be poured out carelessly. She trusts that the right man will see her love through her actions, that he will respect her boundaries, and that he will cherish the parts of her heart that she chooses to reveal. She does not give herself away too easily because she knows that what she carries inside is sacred. A woman is not an open book for just anyone to read. She is a mystery, a treasure, a reflection of God's wisdom and grace. In a world that pressures women to reveal everything in the name of love and honesty, true wisdom teaches that some things must be guarded, protected, and preserved. A woman must know that her power is not in how much she shares, but in how much she wisely chooses to withhold. Her past does not define her, and not every man deserves to know its depths. Her faith is sacred and should never be compromised. Her dreams are her own until they are ready to be revealed. Her strength is not for everyone to lean on, and her heart's deepest emotions should not be carelessly exposed. There is power in discretion, and there is dignity in silence. A woman who understands this truth carries herself differently. She does not feel the need to explain herself at every turn. She does not seek validation by oversharing. She does not hand over the keys to her soul to someone who has not proven himself worthy. Instead, she walks in quiet confidence, radiating strength, wisdom, and grace. May you walk in wisdom. May you stand in strength. And may you never forget that the most valuable treasures are always kept hidden until the right time, with the right person in the right hands.